In the last couple of years, I've produced almost 1,000 videos showing how to make money potentially with coins. But you know what a guy's really interested in? It's probably not coins. You can see if you do a quick search here for Lamborghini, 10 million views, 3 million views, 5 million views. The advertising revenue alone on these videos is enough to buy a Lamborghini outright pretty much every month. It's a crazy situation. Look here at coin videos. There's some really successful coin videos. There are some with, a few thousand, 20,000, 100,000 views. They may have been out there for 5 or 6 years gathering views, but really nobody very much is interested in precious metals and coins and collecting compared to Lamborghinis. Or take a look at a quick search on how to build wealth on YouTube. 2.3 million views, 40,000 views, 280,000 views, 830,000 views. Massive number of people, but nothing compared to Lamborghinis. Look at Rolex watches. 10,000 views, 160,000 views, 67, 170,000 views. These YouTubers are making enough money from their channels to buy a new Rolex watch every month and review it on their channel. And that seems to be what a lot of them do. What does that tell us, about people's desire to really make money or people's seriousness? Sex. Let's take sex. Everyone searches for sex. 163,000 views, 7 million views, 8 million views, 3 million views. Look at that compared to gold coins, gold sovereigns, pre-1933, collecting coins, numismatics. It's tiny. Why? Let's take a look a bit more at that. Some factoids, maybe. I don't know how accurate, but these are kind of guesses, really. The average video I make seems to get round about 1,500 views over a period of time. If I do a video that is on a very general subject, it can get maybe 10,000 views over a period of time. If I do a video on fake watches, it can get 200,000 views over a period of time. So it seems to me that not that many people are really interested in some quite interesting and innovative ways of building capital wealth over a period of time. Maybe it's a little bit too nerdy. Maybe it's a little bit too boring for people. I don't know. People like gold, people like silver, people have heard of precious metals. They're buying and selling these things on eBay all the time in their tens of thousands. But maybe they're not the dream things that they're thinking about, like, I dream of a Lamborghini, I dream of a Rolex, I dream of a Rolls Royce. Maybe they're not dreaming of a gold coin in the same way or interested in the same way. But we live in a world where most people don't have any savings, where if somebody were to have an emergency, or they were to a medical emergency, or somebody in the family with a problem or need rent money, or anything like that, we live in a world where most people wouldn't have the money. They wouldn't have maybe even $500 or $1,000 put aside for a rainy day. So most people aren't looking at building up wealth. Most people are content to just be able to pay the bills every month. But at the same time, most people are just spending an extraordinary amount of money on rubbish everywhere they go every day. And that money could be used to build real wealth. And maybe at some stage, if they wanted to buy themselves a real Lamborghini rather than ogling over YouTubers who are getting rich from advertising these very, very expensive things. So can collecting coins allow somebody who has virtually no wealth at the start to build something that has a pretty reasonable value at the end of a 5-year period. Is that possible? And I think that people should pay much more attention to collecting, objects, not just coins, not just the kind of things that I show in my videos, but collecting generally as a way of building wealth over a period of time. And let's look at that, and let's look at some of the secrets to building wealth through collecting. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. What does that really mean when it comes to collecting and collecting coins? It means that you don't have to buy big. You do have to try and buy at the right price and at the right time. But buying and keeping buying over a period of time, week by week, month by month, is really the secret to building long-term wealth. It's no different in many ways to pound cost averaging, investing into an investment trust or 401 or a pension or an IRA or whatever else you might want to invest in, little by little, and doing something interesting with cash as opposed to just spending it on tobacco, alcohol, drugs, sex, stupid things that are only ever going to be thrown away in large bags of rubbish after a year or two. Spending wisely is the key to building wealth, and there are no real secrets. Anyone can choose to build wealth, so long as you have your day-to-day needs covered and that you have a roof over your head and you can pay your bills. You can build wealth. When I first started collecting coins, I had no savings. I had large credit card debts and I wasn't good with money. And I used coins as a means of building wealth that I would otherwise not have had. And I started off with 1/2 ounce silver bullion coins, 1 ounce silver bullion coins, silver pandas, semi-numismatic coins, and you can see the kind of coins that I was buying by looking at some of my old videos. I kept a very careful eye on buying prices. I kept a very careful eye on exchange rates, because all of these things affect whether or not you're better at any period of time buying numismatic coins like this one, or whether you're better off buying semi-numismatic or bullion coins. So you need to buy wisely, but you do need to buy regularly, and initially buy and don't trade and don't sell. However, a great way of building wealth is to trade and is to sell. People say coins are not an investment. They are certainly not an investment, but they are something which has often a big interest throughout the world and a finite supply, and the complexity of their pricing is added to in terms of a dimension by the grading companies, who then make very, very small differences between the grades of coins a very big thing. And that grade difference can also be a way of turning your investment into capital. But at the same time, it's better not to pay much attention to that until you've accumulated an amount of money. How much money can you accumulate? Well, if you have, say, £100 or $150 or something like that every single month that can be diverted from other forms of expenditure into something which is a tangible asset, then over a period of 2 years, you've effectively got $2,500 to $3,000, $4,000 of capital wealth that you would otherwise not have had at all. Then if you bought wisely, you might be able to then trade an element of that to make a profit on some of the things you've been able to buy. And that might be something which allows you or gives you the liquid capital to then invest when there is another investment opportunity. And those don't come up all the time. There may be an opportunity on a Facebook group, there may be an opportunity on the Silver Forum, there may be an opportunity at a heritage auction. These kind of opportunities do come up often. And what I've learned is there is no rush, there is no shortage of these items, and it's better not to buy at every opportunity, but then hold out, buy things which are more expensive and rarer, and that's just my particular way of doing it. And I'm not saying everybody should do the kind of things that I have been doing. They may be right for some people and they may be wrong for other people. So next time you're on YouTube searching for ideas, why don't you look up building wealth through collecting, creating capital, something constructive, because if you take an interest in that in your 20s or 30s, you have a very, very real opportunity of using time to your advantage and obtaining amazing items which will give you pleasure, historical interest, and also give you the ability to trade and improve an interesting collection which can then be sold at some later stage. And all of those things are much better than wasting cash on rubbish, on interest, on making banks rich, you and your personal wealth and your personal net worth. Please can you comment on this video and give other people the truth about whether or not collecting coins, numismatics, bullion, semi-numismatic, whether all those things have been a positive thing in your life, and give them some ideas on how they can improve their net wealth over time.